Spirited Away might look like a simple children's film, but beneath the magic lies something far deeper. Every frame feels alive with mystery, every character hides more than they reveal, and the story lingers long after it ends. It's a film that keeps calling us back, not just to watch, but to wonder. What's really happening beneath the surface? What hidden truths did Miyazaki leave for us to uncover? Tonight we're stepping into the spirit world again, and once you see these secrets, you'll never watch it the same way. One of the most haunting interpretations of Spirited Away is that Chihiro's entire adventure takes place in the afterlife. The film begins with her family stepping through a mysterious tunnel, a passage often compared to the river Styx in Greek mythology, or the Sanzu River in Japanese folklore, both said to separate the living from the dead. Once inside, Chihiro starts to fade, her body becoming translucent. This isn't just visual magic. It can be read as her soul slowly disconnecting from the physical world. The bathhouse then isn't just a strange workplace, but a realm between life and death, filled with wandering spirits. Seen this way, Chihiro's journey becomes a symbolic crossing, not just about growing up, but about brushing against mortality itself. Every step, every test she faces, is part of her struggle to remain tethered to life and return to her world. It's a chilling reinterpretation that turns the film into a story of survival on the edge of two worlds. The bathhouse in Spirited Away may look whimsical, but many believe it hides a darker meaning. Its design mirrors Edo period Sento bathhouses, which often doubled as brothels after hours, and even echoes modern hostess clubs in Japan. Chihiro's loss of her name when she becomes Sen is a striking parallel. In the sex industry, women were often forced to work under pseudonyms, stripping away part of their identity to fit the establishment's rules. The bathhouse's constant exchange of labor for tokens, food, or shelter reflects the transactional nature of these spaces. Seen this way, Yuya becomes a metaphor for exploitation, a place where the vulnerable, like Chihiro, are pressured to give up parts of themselves in order to survive. Miyazaki critiques how entire institutions, not just brothels, profit from dependency and desperation. It's unsettling, but it adds another layer of realism to Spirited Away. Behind the magic lies a commentary on the hidden costs of modern society. Another reading of the bathhouse is that it's a mirror of Studio Ghibli itself. Every worker inside Yuya, from the frog attendants to the soot sprites, performs a tiny specialized role, just like animators, background artists, and storytellers all contributing to a film. The chaos, the noise, the endless stream of tasks, it's the creative process brought to life. At the center is Yubaba, the strict, demanding leader. She can be read as a stand-in for Miyazaki himself, a perfectionist torn between artistry and the crushing burden of deadlines, budgets, and leadership. She drives her staff relentlessly, yet beneath the harshness lies a kind of protective care, much like Miyazaki's complicated relationship with his studio. Seen through this lens, Spirited Away becomes a self-portrait. The bathhouse isn't just Chihiro's trial, it's Ghibli's workshop, messy and magical, where teamwork and pressure transform into masterpieces. The frog and slug workers in the bathhouse may seem like quirky background characters, but they carry sharp social commentary. The frogmen, identical in appearance and manner, echo Japan's salarymen, workers in dark suits commuting to the office, bound by uniformity, routine, and the loss of individuality. Their repetitive tasks and subservience to Yubaba highlight the monotony of corporate life. Meanwhile, the slug-like women reflect another societal layer, the limited roles and expectations placed on women. Their movements and interactions mimic the pressure to appeal to men, mirroring how women in certain industries are confined to narrow, performative roles. Together, these creatures expose the imbalance of power in Japan's work culture. The frogs embody the suffocating rigidity of male corporate identity, while the slugs reveal the constraints and pressures on women. Miyazaki uses these grotesque forms to critique how modern society dehumanizes people, reducing them to functions rather than individuals. Yubaba, the imposing ruler of the bathhouse, isn't just a fantasy villain. She's rooted in Japanese folklore. Her character draws on the Yubaba, or mountain witch, a figure known both for devouring humans and for fiercely nurturing her own children. This duality explains Yubaba's contradictions. She's a ruthless boss who enslaves workers, yet she shows tender devotion to her giant baby. But Yubaba can also be read as Miyazaki's self-reflection. Like the witch, he has long carried the burden of running Studio Ghibli, balancing creativity with the harsh demands of leadership. The perfectionism, the pressure to produce, the struggle to care for his family of animators while pushing them to their limits, all of it echoes in Yubaba's character. Through her, Spirited Away becomes not just a fantasy about spirits, but a confession about the costs of creation itself. Yubaba embodies both the devourer and the protector, the artist and the business head, a living paradox at the heart of Ghibli. Haku may appear as a boy and a dragon, but his true identity is the spirit of the Kohaku River. Once a living river god, he loses his home when the waterways filled in and paved over for apartments. That destruction mirrors the way modernization in Japan often erases natural spaces, severing the bonds between people and the environment. Haku's loss of his name is more than a plot device. It's a symbol of disconnection. Without his true name, he forgets who he is, just as society forgets the rivers and forests it consumes for development. Chihiro's role in helping Haku remember becomes one of the film's most powerful ecological messages. By giving back his name, she restores not only his identity, but also his connection to the natural world. It's Miyazaki's reminder that healing begins when we remember what we've forgotten, and when we care enough to protect what we've nearly lost. No Face is one of the most mysterious figures in Spirited Away, and his meaning runs deeper than simple creepiness. He represents unchecked desire, greed, materialism, and the hollow transactions that dominate the bathhouse. By offering gold to gain attention and favor, he exposes how easily people can be bought and how shallow those connections become. Some see No Face as a metaphor for lost youth, lonely, misunderstood, desperate to belong. Others interpret him as the adult who has gained wealth but lost all sense of purpose, using money as the only way to reach others. Both readings point to the same truth. He is desire without direction, hunger without fulfillment. Through No Face, Miyazaki critiques a consumer-driven society that promises satisfaction through wealth and consumption, but delivers only emptiness. His rampage in the bathhouse shows how destructive that hunger can become, and his quiet redemption with Chihiro reminds us that meaning comes not from riches, but from genuine connection. One of Spirited Away's most unforgettable moments is the cleansing of the stink spirit. At first, it appears as a foul, grotesque monster, reeking of rot and sludge. But as Chihiro bravely pulls on the embedded debris, a bicycle and piles of garbage come loose, the true culprit revealed as human pollution. When the spirit finally emerges, it's revealed as a majestic river god, restored to its original form. This transformation is one of Miyazaki's clearest environmental allegories. Even when scarred by neglect and exploitation, nature can recover if given care and respect. The scene is both hopeful and sobering. It reminds us that our actions directly shape the fate of the natural world, and that healing requires effort, responsibility, and reverence for what sustains us. Spirited Away isn't just fantasy, it's filled with hidden meanings. Chihiro's afterlife journey, the bathhouse as brothel and as Ghibli itself, frogs and slugs as society, Yubaba the mountain witch, Haku the lost river god, No Face as desire, and the polluted spirit as nature's warning. Which of these do you believe most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more Ghibli secrets and anime explorations.